Hey guys, got something really cool to show you today, something I've been really excited about getting. Just me today though, no Ashley, mainly because she's probably doesn't care honestly about this. This is kind of one of the things I got that she could care less about. But also she's tending to our son because he's not feeling very well today. So it is the Enterbay Michael Jordan Final Edition, the away version. There's also a home version. So if you guys are familiar with the Enterbay's NBA series, they have 1/6 scale figures that are NBA players, former NBA players too, which in this case, the GOAT, right? Now what's special about this is actually a 2-pack. This is his rookie year, and then basically like his iconic, they just call it an iconic line, where it's kind of an amalgamation of a few years where you kind of, when you see or think of Michael Jordan, you think of him looking like this, basically. We're going to open this bad boy up and take a look. You can see on the front of the box, it just says 23 there with a little bit of chrome, which looks great. And then Final Edition, and then the upper deck on the NBA and Enterbay. My understanding is they call it the Final Edition because this is actually, they're not going to make any more Michael Jordans. That's what I understand about it. And not only is it a 2-pack of his rookie and his iconic, it also comes with the first 14 shoes that he wore, or the Jordan branded shoes. So that's awesome, and one of the things I'm excited about the most. So it's basically just a black box. You can see a lot of writing on here, nothing that interesting. So yeah, there's not a lot on the box here, but it kind of does give you like a shoe vibe, right? Like a Jordan shoe vibe. Alrighty, so let's open it and see what we got here. So when we open it, we get this really cool year by year of his career on the Bulls, basically. You can see that it has just sort of a quick little thing about what happened in that year for Jordan. 85 was his rookie year. Goes all the way to 98, where it says Finals Most Valuable Player. Averaged 33.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.3 assists to lead the Bulls to a 4-2 victory over the Utah Jazz for his 6th NBA Finals MVP. And you probably remember that shot. I'm not a Bulls fan. I was always a Bulls fan back then and a Jordan fan because we live near Indianapolis, and if you live in the area and around Indiana, we're so close to major cities, where we have major cities within 2 to 3 hours all over us, whether it's Detroit or Chicago or Cincinnati. We're obviously Pacers fans if you are around the area. Everybody's a Pacers fan, but in the 90s, it was always the Pacers versus the Bulls, and Chicago isn't that far from anybody in Indiana. It's right on the border of Illinois and Indiana, if you didn't know that. So it was very common back then to see Bulls fans and Pacers fans being the same thing. And if you were lucky enough to grow up in the time when the Bulls were just killing it in the 90s and the NBA and that whole vibe where there were so many good teams, whether it was the Knicks or the Hornets or the Jazz or the Sonics or the Pacers or the Bulls, or just a number of teams back then when the NBA was more, you know, leveled out or even though the Bulls won 6 times, so it wasn't like everybody knew who was going to win, but there was just a lot better teams back then, and it was just a more interesting time to watch the NBA, I think. That's why I was a Bulls fan growing up. I just loved it. I went to Chicago a lot. I went to Michael Jordan's restaurant. I was a big Jordan fan, so that's why I hold him in high prestige, and I was willing to spend the money on this set because, again, I am a big fan of Michael Jordan. I wish they'd do a Reggie Miller one, but I don't see that happening. Now, there are only 5,000 of these pieces, so you will get a certificate of authenticity that looks like that. Pretty basic, just red. And then when we look in the box, you can see that we're going to get the clothes on top. You're going to get his shoot-around outfit, which you can see is really cool. And you're going to get both jerseys, the rookie jersey and the iconic. And then you're going to get the stuff he would wear on his legs and his undershorts, his compression shorts, and all that, and socks to make it's a prototypical Jordan. And then there's also a gold chain in here, which is really cool because he wore that gold chain his rookie year. So yeah, you can see all lined up on that sheet there. And then here we go. We got 2 naked bodies of Jordan. So that's obviously kind of weird when you see it. But you are going to get a, let's see which one this one is. This is the iconic Jordan. As you can see the face there, it looks really, really good. And then we also have the rookie Jordan when he had hair, which also looks really, really good. So we'll set those to the side. You get a whole bunch of hands, which isn't too important. Here's the gold chain. You can see, which is really cool. So that's everything we get as far as the Jordan, the body goes. Now you can see this box is a little strange, right? It closes and opens, but we have this little drawer here on the bottom that we're gonna slide out, and I'll show you possibly the coolest thing in the set. As you can see, it says 1 through 14 in Roman numerals, and then on the back of it you can see the same thing, which looks just so amazing. And then we're gonna open it, and then there we go. Let me put that to the side. We have all the shoes. So you probably know, I mean, the shoes were one of the most important things. Growing up as a kid back then, you would be so excited to see what he put on his foot, and you wanted to, yeah, you wanted to mimic that as a kid. And they were still expensive at the time. Obviously, they're way more expensive now, but they're also much better quality back then too. So I'll say my favorite Jordan of all time is the 13. Maybe that's not a popular opinion, but there are the 13s, and I'll go through right now and show you 1 through 14. Let me know which one's your favorite. Alrighty, so really cool, right? Did anybody pick up the breads recently? I did. I love them. So they're kind of heavy too, by the way. So the foot is just going to actually snap right into that. We take the foot off and the peg will snap right into that. So let's go ahead and build them and make our Jordans here. We got to take the plastic off the necks here because they're, you know, they don't want it to rub. So starting with the rookie Jordan, we have to get his ones. And iconic is difficult because you got to pick and choose which ones you want. You kind of have a lot of options you could choose, but being that my favorite shoe is the 13, I'm gonna go with the 13 on them. I think that would be my choice. I would say the 12 and 11 would be a good choice too, but I mean, even the 14 you could do too, obviously, if you're trying to mimic that last shot. Man, these are cool. It's just so cool. I don't think I'm going to use the shoot-around outfit just because I really kind of want to see him in his rookie outfit, because the Bulls jersey did change since then, so you will still get a different look if that's what you're going for. Also, if you guys are buying the bodies or the Jordan or anything like that, eBay also offers different jerseys you can buy too that, you know, come out of China. They're not licensed or whatever, but you can buy, like, I believe the black jersey, the white jersey, and I think they might even have a Dream Team one, if I'm not mistaken. I think I did see that they had a Dream Team one. So we just slide the jersey right off, and we slide the shorts off. Shorts don't look any, no, they don't look any different except for the cut from rookie to iconic. And he didn't really wear the shorts like he did in Iconic, so it doesn't have anything for that. This is weird. It's like dressing a Barbie. It makes me feel very uncomfortable, I think. I wish they just came dressed so I wouldn't have to do this, but I suppose that takes away some of the fun for some people. I don't know. Alright, so we got those built now. They were a little difficult. I had a couple issues I wasn't real impressed with, I'll say. The main thing is getting the shoes on. Those are really hard to get on compared to most 1/6 scale figures I've dealt with. Usually it's just a little ball joint that fits down into a hole, where this one has to like turn in and go in a hole that's in the shoe horizontally. Really, really strange. There's definitely a difference between Jordan his rookie year and then his iconic year, so you know they do look good together, and I think it's a great 2-pack to offer the fans, and we will get a closer look up at these here in a minute. But I do want to kind of go over what's left in the box, because that's obviously not it. We still need bases and the balls here. So let me pull out the bases, and then we also have 2 basketballs, which is cool. And then we have the pieces that will fit into the bases. So there's quite a few items in this box. It's a pricey 2-pack, but I think it's still well worth it. in terms of quality and sculpt and what comes in it. I mean, the shoes alone are really neat. Now, the balls appear to be the exact same, which is strange because I don't believe they would have been. Obviously, Adam Silver wasn't the commissioner. We also get 2 bases. We get Michael Jordan, The Last Shot, 1998. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to change those shoes actually if we're going to go with The Last Shot, so that's cool. And then we have his rookie Michael Jordan red one, which is cool because the way they put Chicago in the center is the old font for Chicago on their jerseys. So I do like that. That does give you kind of a different look. And they look like wood grain, so it looks kind of like a basketball court, which I like also. So that is neat. And then what you'll get is you'll get these pegs, these bendable pegs. Like any of the 6-scale figures that you'll get from any brand, they're basically just going to have a screw bottom that will screw into the base. And then same thing for the top, where we'll screw in the, depending on how you want to pose them. Obviously it's Jordan, so you could do a lot of things if you want to go dunk or you just want to kind of have them stand there. It gives you the option because it's going to hug around whatever piece of the body you decide to hold. Being his height, that would actually fit around his neck, which we definitely don't want. So that's kind of strange. I wonder if it gives you other size. Okay, so it doesn't appear to give you other size, whatever these are. So you're kind of stuck with it being that height. Otherwise, you could just keep it off and just have them stand on the base if you want. You could do that. Or you could have them, you know, jumping or whatever and then attach it to the base and make them look like some weird Martian if you want. I don't know. Or, you know, whatever you want to do. There's multiple poses that you could do. Now, again, there are a lot of different hands in here. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 other hands besides the ones that they come with. And they actually do have a magnet. The magnet has a ball in it. And then, well, and then another pair of the hands have a magnet in it. So if you do want to have them holding the ball, you can do that. And we'll take a look at that right now, actually. So as you can see, he does hold the ball with the magnet. So it looks really good. And I mean, you have a ton of different ways you could pose this, obviously, considering, you know, he's an athlete. So, you know, whatever your favorite pose that he does or whatever move or really anything, the options are numerous, obviously. So with that said, after seeing everything in the box, let's push in and take a closer look at him. Now, getting a close look at the portraits, we'll start off with his rookie head. Of course, this is when he had hair. This would be in 1984. We didn't have this look too long until he went bald. But again, it's still a very famous look because of, obviously, the slam dunk competition and, you know, the college look. A lot of colors in this one. So there's a really good paint app. You can see veinage on the temple there. You can kind of see the youth here. And it's kind of interesting how when they sculpted the older version and this version, it does look like he had years in the NBA. He looks like a fresh kid in this, which is really cool. I mean, how many times do we get a face sculpt or even a kit that has a two-pack where we get to get different eras of the player? That's really, really cool to have. Yeah, this is a great head sculpt. Let's take a look at the iconic one. Again, this is going to be probably from like 95 to 98, somewhere in there. Even though the base says 98 for The Last Shot, this is kind of... He looked like this for a little while, right? I mean, this is when we think of Michael Jordan. This is what we think of that he looks like. We saw this look in Space Jam. We saw this look in some of the coolest shoes. So this is Michael Jordan if you wanted one that was just kind of in the middle. Just like the rookie head. I think they nailed this one. I mean, the portrait looks exactly like Jordan, especially within these years. And I would definitely have to put them right there neck to neck with what Hot Toys is doing. That's a huge compliment to say. But I definitely think, at least on this figure, we're close. Alrighty, so let's get a close-up look at these guys, starting with the rookie Michael Jordan. Again, he comes with a chain, a gold chain. Now, it's actually a very long chain, one chain that you have to fold over to make it look like he has two chains. So that's a good idea, so you don't have two of them running around. And it still looks really good. You can see it has a mesh material that's pretty consistent with what we saw in jerseys back then. And they even have, you can see, a good lining on the neck and shoulder collars, which is always a difficult thing for some of these companies to do. Chicago in 23, and then Jordan in 23 on the back. Those are ironed on, pressed sort of plastic like vinyl that is common with those old jerseys. The only thing I would say that's not great is the band here, since it's like a silk material. It's a shame that couldn't be elastic. I understand that would be pretty difficult to do, but that's the only thing I would say that doesn't look fantastic. But it does look really good around the bottoms of the shorts and the sides of the shorts because it's a hard material, like almost like a ribbon. You know, when you buy a ribbon, that's almost what this material is, and it looks really good. Now he also comes with a calf pad stretched or whatever, and socks that fit on that look really great. And he comes with one too on the on his elbow, and then you can see how detailed these shoes are from the bottoms of them to the paint job. Just overall really, really great. So let's take a look at him in a shoot-around outfit. You can see that they're ironed on layers of Chicago. The NBA logo, the collar is a different material than the red kind of silky feel. The pants are also sort of a meshy, sort of silky, I guess, a silky feel. And these aren't actually buttons, there's Velcro pieces, 3 or 4 Velcro pieces in the pants that actually hold those on, so you don't have to worry about buttoning every single one of those, which would be annoying. On the back of it, we have another ironed on piece that is the Bulls logo, and that's pretty much it. You can see that it's got a little black triangle threaded piece there on the bottom, and overall I'd say the quality is pretty good. You know, I wouldn't say it's perfect. Some of the stuff is a little loose, so you might have an issue with maybe a button falling off at some point. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Now let's take a look at the iconic Michael Jordan. This is a lot like the rookie jersey, but there is a few differences beside the NBA logo now on the shoulder. The letters and numbers are now ironed on in a different material. The rookie jersey, we saw that it was like a vinyl, like a rubber. You know that if you got jerseys back in the early 90s, that same iron-on material, just any of that old school way. Well, now there's a new way that like Nike's doing it on jerseys, and that's what this is. If you can get a close-up look, it's a material a lot like what you're buying in your Nike jersey. Let me show you one of my jerseys, my Pacer jersey. If you can see this, that material, it's got, I don't know, I don't really know what this material is, but it's the same material that these are made of. So that's great. So they're matching what is today. Even though back then they were actually stitched on, that would be very difficult to do. So this is a great way to do it, a good medium, but very good quality. I would say the cut is done really well. Size, the proportions look about perfect. And overall, I'm very happy with this. Now his, whatever you want to call this, his calf sort of pad there, mine's ripping, so I'm gonna have to stitch that up. It's the quality of the stitching is not the greatest, but that's not gonna be that big of a deal really. And then these shoes, they're so detailed. The level of detail on these shoes are insane. You probably saw it in the turnaround earlier in the video, but incredible. Even has the NBA logo on the socks, and then Jordan's undershorts that you know he's famous for. So very, very cool.
Alrighty, so there we go. Very excited to have these. I really am happy that I was able to get these. Enterbay makes some really, really great NBA players. From what I'm seeing, the sculpts are done really well. As you saw, the face sculpts were excellent. And I really want to see them go farther into this line. I saw that they did 1/9 scale for a little while, but I really kind of only collected 1/6 scale in these. But I would love to see them go back into some of these old NBA players. Like, I'd love to see a Larry Bird. I'd love to see a Reggie Miller, like I said. If you're a Bulls fan, they do make a Dennis Rodman and a Scottie Pippen, so it would be cool to pair them up with these. Let me know down in the comments, what NBA player would you like to see Enterbay do? Would it be somebody that's played, maybe is retired now in the Hall of Fame, maybe not in the Hall of Fame, or do you want to see something current? Do you want to see him roll through all the current NBA players? Because that would be cool too. Also, would you like to see him go into other sports? I'd love to see him go in the MLB and the NFL. Could you imagine NFL ones of these? That would be really, really sick. So once again, this is the Enterbay final edition of Michael Jordan, the 2-pack away version. If you guys are interested in this 2-pack, I'll put a link down below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.